Hey Taylor, this is Keaton Everett from ABC going over your pitching video from the spring break camp. We'll go through and kind of talk about some mechanics, kind of step by step, frame by frame, and go over what I'm seeing and talk a little bit about how we can get ourselves in a nice, healthy, consistent position to maximize our body, our lower half, to generate enough forces and torque and to create velocity. All right, so basically we'll start off, what happens over the rubber. How we start dictates a lot of how we're going to finish. All right, so if we're rushing out of the gate, we're going to be flying open. If we're not breaking our hands at the same time, we're not going to get as consistent arm pass. So we got to make sure we're loaded up on that back leg. We break our hands at the same time, and we start our hips forward. So we're going to go through and watch what your head's doing, what your spine's doing, and just kind of go from there. So as you're coming back, all right, you see no head movement back. That's really good. Okay, nothing's changing with your posture, nothing's changing with your height until you start forward. All right, so that's really good. Good job on that. A lot of times we'll see guys start off leaking forward. We'll see guys go back and then forward. So that just tells me you're loaded up on that back leg. You're ready for everything to get going forward. All right, so that's good. That's an awesome job. Okay, now as you watch your arm path, you do bring your hands down all the way, so we want to eliminate this extra movement with your glove in your hand. All right, we want to eliminate the movement from here to here and just start here. All right, the more that movement with the hands, it creates timing issues. It doesn't give you any benefit. So if we can just start with them somewhere around that belly button, underneath the chest to the belt, that's going to eliminate some of that extra movement, and that's going to get you timed up a little better, so you can break your hands at the same time every time. All right. One thing too, all right, you're getting your leg in a good position. All right, we like to see the hips close a little bit, but what we want to see are these hips start first before this leg starts. All right, we don't want to see this hip and leg start open before the hips go forward. So if we draw a box around your hips, all right, as you're going forward, you can see that the hips really don't get going a whole lot, and that leg's already coming down almost to the ground before those hips are going forward. So right on the gate, we just want to see the first movement, thinking about your hip bone or that back pocket needs to be driving forward. All right, so just drive those hips first. Lead with the hips. Get those hips involved. Get those hips going. And then that leg, that left leg, is going to pop open naturally. It's just gonna do what it wants to do, and we just don't want to have our left foot kind of lead. You can kind of see how your foot's kind of getting out front a little bit. We just want to see a nice neutral position here, and those hips driving forward, and then that hip pops out, or that foot pops out. It's almost like you want to feel like that heel's leading you down. Staying close as long as you can, and then everything pops out. All right, so that's just something where you can get a little more power, a little more pop from that lower body. All right, so as you come into release, the biggest thing where you're losing a lot of power is what this front side's doing. Okay, you can see if you watch this shoulder, that shoulder starts turning, and this is our foot strike right here. That's where our foot's hitting the ground at this frame. Okay, so at this frame you can see everything's already rotated. All right, what we want to, and then what's happening is you're seeing this spine angle shift towards first base, and if we're looking at it from the front, it's probably pretty close to 45 degrees. All right, so you do have some leeway. You don't have to be perfectly straight up through the spine to release the ball, but that's getting a little bit severe. And it's getting a little bit early. If this was happening farther out front and there's still that angle, that wouldn't be as bad, but because you're pulling off so early before you're rotating, that's just loading up this shoulder and this elbow with extra stress, which can lead to injury a little bit later. All right, so keep that left shoulder in line a little bit longer to keep yourself close, because at this position, we'll get back to that foot strike. At this position, we want to at least see a straight spine. We want to see good posture, and then you're shifting that weight forward, getting out front. And then if you start pulling off towards the first base line, that wouldn't be as bad. But you can see you're releasing the ball, and your body's not even out over that front foot. We want to see that body shifted out here to even, preferably out over that front foot. And then all those stresses aren't as bad. So we just got to get farther out front. All right, as we're releasing, we want to see you drive through your legs a little bit more so we can get this body out, about another 6 or 8 inches. All right. One thing that's going to help you stay closed longer is what your front side's doing, what your left arm's doing. All right, you can see that glove start curling in and kind of tuck into your chest. All right, you're sticking pretty good out there, but we want that glove to start out there and stay out there. So we want to get that glove, out in this position. So now your elbow will probably more look like this. All right, and then that elbow starts to rotate down, and that glove stays the same. All right, you rotate down more. Now your elbow's at this position. All right, and then you're coming through, and that will get you out over that front foot. That'll take your back leg and take it from this angle from release, and that's going to put you more at a less steep angle, and that should get you about probably right around down here, releasing the ball, probably out over here. Now you're getting more angle on the ball. Now you're getting, it's releasing closer to the batter. It's going to jump on him quicker. So that's just the biggest thing, is just the incorporation of your lower body more. Just let those hips work. Keep that front side closed. Get that right hip through the zone first, and then that right shoulder comes through, and not at the same time. And you'll be in a lot better position, a lot more powerful, a lot less strain on your arm, which is obviously good. Just let your body work. Get down the hill. Use that hill, and you'll be on your way to more velocity. You'll be on your way to more consistency and just a better all foundation for pitching. So other than that, you got a good foundation, a good base. So it's just a matter of timing up a little bit more over the rubber and using more hips, keeping that front side closed, and you'll be solid, good to go. So anyways, have a great season this year. Good luck. Thanks for making it out to our camp. Hope you had a great time, and we look forward to seeing you again with ABC in the future.